Welcome back to Fox and Friends. From the Space Needle in Seattle to Times Square here in New York, law enforcement coast to coast is stepping up security ahead of tonight's New Year's Eve celebrations. It comes amid growing concerns over pro-Palestinian and pro-Hamas groups planning disruptions with their anti-Israel message. Joining us now is Seattle Talk Radio host and author of the book, What's Killing America, Jason Rantz. Jason, thanks for joining us. We've talked about what's happening here in New York. One thing that Mayor Adams pointed to was the success of the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. But even up there in Seattle, you didn't have quite the same success in lighting your own tree.
No, a whole lot of people showed up. They disrupted the event. They postponed it for something like 30 minutes. And then finally, without much fanfare, they just decided to turn on the lights. The mayor left early. This is, of course, what we're used to in Seattle. And frankly, it's the case all across the country. Why are these people doing this? It's because there's no consequences, right? I mean, they are driven by their narcissism. These are folks who believe that their position is the only true position. They've been taught that Israel and Jews are oppressors and the Palestinians and Gazans that they are the oppressed. And so they feel, because they frankly live lives that I don't think they're getting a lot out of, so they want to step up and be a part of this bigger movement, and they feel like they're actually accomplishing something. And I don't think that clearly they're not accomplishing anything but interfering with folks. And if they do so tonight at the Space Needle for the New Year's Eve celebration and fireworks show, it's just going to further their cause in their own minds. But hopefully people will start looking at these selfish people the way that they are, and it's just that they're selfish narcissists.
Yeah, we talk about New York City. We've had a story this week of a crazy man with racist motivations taking a knife and stabbing people. And that's one type of concern. It's not really a lone wolf. It's more crazy actor. I'm sure you have plenty of that in Seattle with some of the homelessness and problems that you have up there. But then the other side of this is an organized protest that really ascends on a powder keg, right? You have an NYPD that's probably at a very heightened rate, and probably same thing for you. They're understaffed, undersupported. They're constantly having to engage in discernment. Is taking this next step worth the risk? Am I going to be persecuted for saving lives here? Is this person someone that the city will protect? Is it worth risking my life to put them in jail with this guy 17 times? So you have these organized protesters coming in. Is it your belief that they have a spark of violence in them, or is it just going to be the clashing of ideas that violence may break out?
Violence may break out, right? I mean, these are people who are motivated by hatred. Right? They hate Jews. They hate Israel. They're out there saying that Jews are committing a genocide against folks. And so they come already from a place of hate. And remember, if we had the Venn diagram up, Kamala Harris would be very excited about that, we would see the overlap of people who are involved in the pro-Hamas movement and Antifa. I've covered these rallies here in Seattle and across the country. I recognize Antifa. I recognize quite literally some of the people who were part of the riots during the BLM nonsense in 2020 and 2021. These are the same groups of people. So we already know that they're capable of violence. And the secondary issue here that I think is really, really important, especially in a city like Seattle, you've got the police who are going to be out in full force early on, to your point, very understaffed. Well, guess what? We have a crime crisis right now. We already hit a record high number of homicides in Seattle. And so when those police are out there at the Space Needle because of these potential disruptions, well, guess what? You've got a whole bunch of bad guys out there who are likely going to be able to take advantage.
Yeah, the rest of the city left a little bit unprotected to no fault of their own. Police are doing the best they can. Jason Rantz, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you ring in the new year safely and have a good time. I'll probably be asleep.
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Joey. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Jason.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.